If you want to stand out while you run, these will do that. What is good, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today I am doing a tribute and a memorial to the great Virgil Abloh, the designer who passed away tragically earlier this week as his battle with cancer came to an end. And a lot of videos have been done this week, talking about his life and his design aesthetic and his work ethic and those sorts of things. Today I'm actually doing something a little bit different, and I think which is also appropriate. I'm going to be doing a performance review. And as you know, Off White did a lot of collaborations with Nike brand, and those collaborations sell for a lot of money, whether it's the Jordan 1s or Air Force 1s or the most recent Dunks and Jordan 2s that came out. But I'm actually doing a performance review of probably the least favorite Off White Nike collaboration. That is the Nike Off White Vapor Street. Now these don't really sell for any money at all. In fact, they're going for about $100 in the Japanese resale market. And I thought to myself, well, has anyone done a performance review? Because when these came out, they're not very popular because people didn't know what to do with them. Basically, you have this built-up sole with a giant heel and forefoot, and it's a performance sneaker. It's a running sneaker. So people looking at it as a lifestyle sneaker with this kind of crazy upper materials-wise and color-wise, and then with the giant sole with the little spikes that were all on the bottom. Well, people didn't know how to deal with that, and it wasn't a very popular drop. But I'm a runner, so I thought, let's get a pair and do an actual performance review. And after paddling around YouTube for a while, I realized no one had done that. I found videos about lifestyle review or review of the sneaker just kind of in general, but no one has done an actual on-feet running before and after comfort performance review, and that's what I'm going to give to you today. I've actually been planning this video long before this. I filmed an unboxing about 5 months ago, and I filmed after I went for my first run in them, and I filmed after 100 kilometers. I mean, as you can see, the spikes are all gone off the bottom now, and the soles are kind of condensed and beaten down from all the running. And they're at about 250 kilometers right now, which is about 160 miles. So I'm actually going to go for a run in them right now, and I'm going to then film my final overall review to let you know how these actually performed and actually if they're worth picking up, because quite honestly, they're not expensive right now. Follow along and find out if they are worth your time if you're going to run in them. Let's go. Today I'm about to go out for a run, and recently I've been running in 2 different pairs of shoes as a comparison. I've been running in Adidas Ultra Boosts, which I love because they really are comfortable. I'm totally sold on the Ultra Boost as a great running shoe. And I especially like how you can just slip a new pair onto your feet and they seem to need no breaking in period. They're just soft and amazing right off the start. I've also been running in these. These are the Nike Vapor Street Pegasus, and they're getting a little bit worn out and they're going to need to be replaced pretty soon. So what am I replacing these with? Well, I went ahead and bought what you probably recognize as an Off-White box. I was intrigued at the idea of trying the Vapor Street Low, the Off-White collaboration with Nike, and actually seeing how these work as a performance sneaker. Now, I don't think they're actually meant to be a performance sneaker, but I'm still gonna give them a try because, well, why not? I want to actually see how they work in running. So I'm going to run in them today, and I will do a review of them when I get back and talk about how I feel about them after one run. And then about a month later, I'm going to kind of update how they have been running a month into my running routine. And then after several months, I'm going to put like a final verdict review on how these are as a running shoe. They are clean and pristine right now, but we're going to start breaking them in today, and I will let you know how it goes. I'm back. Did 8:15 kilometers. 5 miles, basically. It's 5 miles. And I'm actually surprised. I thought I was gonna hate them, to be honest. But, now you can see they're no longer pristine white on the bottom. For one thing, I would say that I'm already used to this sole because, well, let me grab the Pegasus. You know, it's basically the exact same thing, right? So I'm already used to running on a sole like this, so that wasn't so strange. And that leaves the knobby things, right? The knobby things, the spikes, I guess you can call them. They honestly, I think, provided a kind of cushioning. So whereas it took me a few runs to sort of beat in or beat down the sole of this Pegasus so that it became soft and springy, this already has its built-in soft and springy. So I'm guessing that after, you know, it's already starting to wrinkle on the heel here. By the time I've worn off these spikes, this will be broken in. So it's almost like a, I don't know, I guess a breaking in device. It's allowing the sole to be soft right from the beginning. Now, the complaint I have is I had to stop in the middle of my run and really loosen the shoelaces because they are a women's exclusive shoe, and these are a men's 9.5 size. I mean, they are my size, but they run a bit narrow. So my right foot in particular was feeling like it was getting numb just because the shoe was too tight. Once I loosened up the laces though, it felt okay after that. Yeah, no complaints. One run in the books, and some of the, let's see if we can get this on camera, some of the spikes are already, you know, look like they're in danger of falling off. And actually I've already lost 2. 1 5-mile run took these 2 right off. Let's check the other one. Yeah, same thing. These 2 have just been ripped right off. And on the toe, I hope the camera is focusing correctly, but yeah, these nubs are gonna come off pretty soon, I think. Well, hey, I don't hate them. I will be able to run in them. That's pretty cool. Not disappointed. In fact, pleasantly surprised. Go figure. Okay, just a quick update here. The Vapor Streets have hit 107 kilometers, so I just passed the 100 kilometer mark yesterday. Basically, should be able to see that there's just almost no studs left anywhere, but you know, what actual purpose did they really serve? I'm still surprised, and I'm still really kind of in wonder at the comfort of these things. They're pretty darn comfortable. Easy to get on and off. I've never touched any of the lacing, obviously the off-white lacing. The only laces I've ever touched are the black ones. I've left the zip tie on, that hasn't been a hindrance at all. Basically, I wouldn't be upset with these as a normal everyday trainer shoe. They've been pretty good, and they're, you know, the stubs are worn off, the spikes are worn off rather, the bottom, but they are holding up quite nicely. I don't get the sense that they're falling apart or going to be in any state of disrepair faster than any other shoe on the market at the moment. So far so good. 107 kilometers in. We'll see how far they get. All right, I finished my run, and now I will give you my final verdict on the Off-White Nike collaboration on these Vapor Streets. So I'm going to talk about the comfort, durability, and the styling, and I'll start with the comfort just to say that the comfort was pretty decent for a Nike running shoe. I'm also running in a pair of Nike Vapor Street Pegasus, which honestly Nike needs to differentiate their names a little bit more. We've got like Vaporfly and Alphafly and Vapor Street, and I can't keep them straight in my head, to be perfectly honest. But those Vapor Street Pegasus and these Vapor Street Off-Whites, the comfort is pretty similar. I would give the edge to these because the upper actually works pretty well. It's pretty breathable when it's all said and done, and that initial spikes before they all got ripped off gave it that kind of extra boost of cushioning, at least at the start. But it's a pretty standard comfort level for current running shoes, so that was all right. In terms of the durability, I'll probably run another 200 to 250 kilometers in these. And when you look at running shoe websites, they typically recommend that you change shoes in the 400 to 600 mile mark. And so these will probably be in the lower end of that, probably in the 400 to 500 range in terms of mileage. And the reason for that is there's some pretty significant scraping and wearing on the heels back here, which is actually something that is going on the Vapor Street Pegasus pair that I have as well. So that's going to be different for different people, because different people have different, foot strikes when they run. Where you wear out your shoes is going to be different. But for me, it's probably going to be on the lower end of durability. That being said, the uppers still pretty much look pristine. Runners know that when you throw away a pair of shoes that you've beaten into the ground, yeah, the bottoms and the cushioning are shot, but the uppers tend to look pretty good still, and these are no exception. Because of this synthetic material that they use, dirt, mud, dust kind of just brushes off it, and so it's easy to keep them looking good. In fact, I'll probably keep these rather than throw them away and maybe, I don't know, use them for light exercise or something like that when I go to the park or something. Also, worth mentioning is that the insoles, I don't know if the camera's going to be able to pick that up, but the insoles, all of the Off White and Nike branding in there is still perfectly visible. So when you look at old Jordans and you check the insole to see if it has a full Jumpman, these are basically just pristine. Whatever they use to print the insoles, it's meant to stay in the long term. So they still look great. Now in terms of the styling, a lot of people didn't like these as a lifestyle shoe. Like, how do you fit this into an everyday wardrobe? And I get that. But for running, if you want to stand out while you run, these will do that. Runners know other running shoes, and you just don't see many runners wearing these. And so when other runners pass you, they're going to take a look. I was running past a bus stop a couple of runs ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and I ran past a guy waiting for the bus. He was wearing a pair of turbo green Jordan 1s, and he did the double take neck break. Like, there's actually a guy running in Off-White Nike, right? Like actually using them as a performance shoe. And so that was kind of cool. If you like to stand out on your runs and have a little bit extra style and edge that way, then maybe this is a good way to go. Now, in terms of a star ranking, how many stars out of 5? In terms of durability, I would give them 2.5 stars out of 5. They're just pretty standard, and they're not going to last as long, for me at least, as some other running shoes that I've had in the past. In terms of comfort, I will give them a 3.5 out of 5. So much better, because I liked how the spikes made them feel at the beginning, and the uppers definitely performed well, and overall, like, the comfort was perfectly fine on these. Finally, styling, I will give them a 4 out of 5, and that's simply because they're going to help you stand out. And if you like that look and you like standing out, then I highly recommend these. Would I buy them again? Would I recommend you to buy them? To be perfectly honest, if they were at or about the original retail price, I probably wouldn't buy them again. I wouldn't bother. A little too expensive for what, at the end of the day, is just kind of a standard running shoe in terms of performance and durability. At the price where they are now, yeah, I would consider buying these again. And if you want to stand out and have your look be just that much different, and start a conversation at the starting line of a race somewhere, then at the current price, why not? If standing out while you run is something that you would enjoy, then yes, I would absolutely say go ahead and buy a pair at the current prices that they're at. All right, there you have it. In honor of the late Virgil Abloh, an actual performance review of one of his collaborations. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. Peace.